There was another one from the Bible that was woken from his sleep 3 times. I was only woken once and was called my name David 3 times at one occasion. But that was Samuel, the one who anointed David. He was woken from his sleep too and was called by his name Samuel. And he was called that one time on 3 different occasions on the same night. Now I again was called David in one occasion 3 times at just one occasion. So if you're going to tell me, and I have to say, if you're going to say, well, we don't believe such things, then I'm going to tell you, would you have said Samuel lied? It happened to him. People can be woken from their sleep and called by a name. Samuel was called by his. If I had been called Rob Cutter or Robert by my name, I would have said, well, who's calling me? But the peculiar part was I wasn't, and so it didn't make sense to me at the time. And I would have never asked the psychic about it or anybody else. I would have just thought, okay. But the reason I did ask was because it didn't make any sense, because that wasn't my name, even though I knew they were calling me, and I wanted to add that. So we're going to talk more. I want to briefly share one more story that happened to me over the last, let's see, this was 2003 when this happened. Actually, I think it was 2004. I didn't have much money. I had 2 children with me, and my parents watched them, and I wanted to go to this, it was called, don't laugh, Mormons. I look at a lot of things, okay? So it was called a psychic fair. They had all these different exhibits, and they had people with books and different things, and that kind of metaphysics and stuff, they interest me. I'm interested in spirituality and always looking at things. So I was there, and I had $5. My parents gave me the money because I'm poor. I was a substitute teacher. I didn't have much money at the time. And so it was kind of a treat to go off without the kids. And there was a lady there, and she did what is called an aura reading. Now, an aura is you know, you have a spirit body. It is around you like this. And I used to be able to see auras when I was a boy. I'll tell you that later. I'll tell you about that later. But anyways, she was going through my aura, and I gave her the money. I didn't give her the money at first. I was going to pay her afterwards. And everybody was in line. So I waited, and it was my turn. It was kind of fun. I just wanted to see, just fun, you know. And but I do believe in that kind of stuff too, because I used to see auras. And she said she was doing this with me, and she said, she stopped and she said, I know you. And she said, you have a purple aura all around you. And she said, you were once a high priest in a temple. You are connected to one that is a high priest in a temple. And she said, I used to work under you. And she says, and then she looked at my face. She went like this, and she goes, yep, that's you. And I said, wow, well, I didn't know what to think about that at the time. These are things I put together later, pieces of my life. I handed her the $5, and she said, no. She says, I cannot take this from you. She says, I'm not going to take it from you. She said, I just can't do that. And she had been taking everyone's money. So I thought, wow, well, that's very nice of you. Thank you. And I took the money, put it in my pocket, and I went and got something to eat. But that has always stuck in my mind. And yes, I did see auras when I was a child. I thought everybody did, because nobody told me we weren't supposed to see them. If I stared at people's on the side of their body, I would start to be able to see their colors. Now, I know Joseph in Egypt Joseph had a coat of many colors. Colors mean a lot of things. And anyways, my mother came in my room one time when I was 5, and I was laying in bed, but I hadn't fallen asleep yet, and it was dark, and she walked in, and it scared me, because all I saw was her silhouette and her aura, and it startled me. And she didn't mean to, and she said, it's just me. And she said, are you all right? I didn't mean to. And I said, oh no, I'm fine. I just saw your light, and it scared me. And she said, my light? And then I started telling her about it. I said, your light. I told her, and we didn't talk about it that night, but the next morning she started asking me, what do you mean my light? And I said, well, you know, your light. I thought everybody could see it. And then when I found out not everybody could see it, and as soon as I started to read kindergarten, and reading and focusing on letters and lines, I couldn't see it anymore. But anyways, I'm going to stop talking about myself, and we're going to talk more about other subjects related to this. I have much to say. So, thank you for listening.